Moses is one of the Bible's most iconic and revered figures, recognized even by those unfamiliar with the Scriptures. His life and deeds are remarkable. It was through him that God led the Hebrews to freedom, parted the Red Sea, and guided them for 40 years in the desert, where they were fed with manna from heaven and protected throughout their journey. Moreover, Moses directly received the tablets with the 10 Commandments from God and established the ceremonial and civil laws that shaped the nation of Israel. He is also the author of the books of Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, constituting a significant part of the Pentateuch. Moses is widely known through movies, series, and other artistic representations, but some aspects of his life often need to be explored. Today, I want to share 6 fascinating facts about this extraordinary leader you may not know. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to receive updates on new videos. Every day, I share messages of faith and prayers to strengthen your walk with God, and it would be a joy to have you join me on this journey. Let's start with the first surprising fact. Moses contracted leprosy. When we think of leprosy in the Bible, we immediately remember Miriam, Moses' sister, who was struck with leprosy for 7 days after criticizing her brother. However, few know that Moses also experienced this disease, albeit briefly. After being commissioned by God to return to Egypt, Moses hesitated, doubting that the people would believe him. God gave him 3 signs to strengthen his confidence and serve as proof of his divine calling, with the second being the most striking. As recorded in the Bible, God instructed Moses to place his hand on his chest. When he withdrew it, his hand was leprous, as white as snow. His skin was restored after following God's command to place his hand on his chest again. This event demonstrated God's power over disease and healing, and served as a reminder of the divine authority upon Moses. The second intriguing fact is that, at one point, God sought to take Moses' life. In Exodus chapter 4, we read that, "At an inn, the Lord met Moses to kill him." The intervention of Zipporah, Moses' wife, was crucial at this moment, as she quickly circumcised their son, which appeased God's anger. This episode highlights the seriousness of God's covenant with his people and the necessity of complete obedience to his commands. As the chosen leader, Moses needed to demonstrate total commitment to God's laws, especially regarding circumcision, which was a sign of the covenant between God and Israel. A third curious point is that the burial place of Moses remains unknown to this day. Unlike Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose tombs are known, Moses' tomb was hidden by God. In the book of Jude, verse 9, there is a reference to a dispute between the archangel Michael and Satan over Moses' body, but the exact reason for this battle needs to be clarified in the Scriptures. Some theologians believe that Satan, as the accuser, attempted to prevent Moses from being saved because of his sins. In contrast, others suggest that he wanted to prevent Moses' body from being revered by the Hebrews, turning it into an idol. The fourth fact worth highlighting is that Moses was 80 years old when he began to lead the people of Israel. Although many imagine that great feats are accomplished in youth, Moses' story teaches us that God can call someone to a special mission at any stage of life. At 80 years old, Moses was called by God, who revealed himself to him in a burning bush on Mount Horeb and commissioned him to liberate the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt. This episode inspires us to trust that God has a purpose for us, regardless of age or circumstances, and our greatest adventure may still be ahead. Another interesting fact about Moses is that he could have been more eloquent. Despite being raised in Pharaoh's palace and receiving a privileged education, Moses did not consider himself a good speaker. In Exodus 4, Moses expresses his difficulty in speaking and asks God to send someone else in his place. However, God assures him that he will be with him and teach him what to say. This detail about Moses' life shows us that God doesn't choose the capable, but equips those he chooses. Despite his limitations, God powerfully used Moses in us not to let our weaknesses prevent us from answering God's call. Lastly, the sixth fact is that great challenges marked Moses' childhood. Born at a time when Pharaoh had ordered the death of all Hebrew boys, Moses was placed in a basket and set adrift on the Nile River to escape death. Rescued by Pharaoh's daughter, he was raised in the palace, but his life was constantly at risk due to the intrigues and Pharaoh's fear that Moses might one day claim the throne. Despite the obstacles, Moses survived and was prepared by God early on to fulfill the crucial role of Israel's deliverer. His story reminds us that even in the face of adverse circumstances, God's purpose prevails, and he is always preparing those he chooses for great deeds. We have reached the end of our video, and I hope you like it. If you're looking for inspiration, knowledge, and spiritual connection, don't let this opportunity pass you by. Subscribe to our channel now, leave your like and comment to strengthen our community. And if you want to help us continue sharing religious stories that touch hearts, become a channel member. Together we can make a difference and strengthen our spiritual journey. We're counting on you. We've left the link in the description of this video so you can become a member today. Continue watching videos about the history of the Bible. I will leave 2 recommendations here on the screen. God bless you. We will get to the next video.